So today we will be looking at the current wrestlers and their counterparts from the Ruthless Aggression era. And this video is only for fun purposes. We're not saying that these guys are exactly the counterparts of the older Ruthless Aggression guys, but it's just something that would kind of make sense looking at the landscape of this era and the Ruthless Aggression era. So we're going to start with the most obvious one. I think everyone would agree with this. It is that Obafemi is the new Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar was the Obafemi of the Ruthless Aggression era. You can put it that way as well. Because you just see him as an unstoppable force who's just rising to the top very quickly, just like Brock Lesnar did. Second, we have Braun Breaker, and his counterpart from the Ruthless Aggression era is Batista. I think this is also very self-explanatory because just like Batista, he's also a part of a group where he's like the big powerhouse of the group. And obviously even looks-wise, he's a lot like Batista. So I think Batista really suits Braun Breaker here. Third, we have Seth Rollins. I think a lot of the people are thinking of this. I think the counterpart for Seth Rollins is Shawn Michaels. There's nothing more perfect than Shawn Michaels in Seth Rollins' case. Whether it's in ring, whether it's their character being the underdog and, like the guy that falls into the smaller category. And, in the new era, this is like the regular size, but still. They're similar in physique. They're similar in ring. And they're similar in being injury prone as well. So I think Seth Rollins and Shawn Michaels are very similar in that way. Now, Cody Rhodes. A lot of people would say John Cena for Cody Rhodes. But I'm not going to say that. Because it's very evident through my videos how I feel about Cody Rhodes being the face of the company. He is not. Cody Rhodes is not the face of the company. John Cena is a guy who's the face of the company. So Cody Rhodes, in my opinion, people will think it's kind of off, but you got to give it some deep thought. Cody Rhodes, I would say, is Triple H. Now, when you look at Triple H, he's a guy who's always been on top. He's the guy who's always in the title picture. Whether you go to the Attitude Era, whether you go to the Ruthless Aggression Era. But for this, we're looking at the Ruthless Aggression Era, and Triple H was always in the world title picture. And you know who else is always in the world title picture now? Cody Rhodes, and ironically so, being Triple H's favorite. So I'd say Cody Rhodes is pretty similar when it comes to his role in the company to Triple H. And speaking of role in the company, next we have Randy Orton, who's currently in this era and was also in the Ruthless Aggression era. But obviously the Randy Orton in that era is not the Randy Orton now, right? So I say Randy Orton in this era counterparts The Undertaker in the Ruthless Aggression era. And here we are mostly speaking about the real life role in backstage, locker room, whatever you want to call it. Being the locker room leader, I think that's Randy Orton. And speaking of Randy Orton, the guy who's the current Randy Orton, I'm not saying obviously exactly like I've said many times in this video, but the current guy would be Trick Williams. This is the only guy I could think of that kind of represents what the younger Randy Orton was. Whether it's being cocky, being like the young guy who thinks he's better than everyone, I think it's pretty solid. Especially when you can't think of a Randy Orton, I think Trick Williams fits into that. Next we have Javon Evans as the new Jeff Hardy. Now obviously there will never be another Jeff Hardy. That guy was special. But Javon Evans was the closest thing I could think of in this era for Jeff Hardy. Whether it's the moves that he pulls off, whether it's just being the young guy, the young underdog in town, I think Javon Evans probably fits that role. And CM Punk, this one was kind of tough because I couldn't really think of anyone for a long time. But then I thought of this. Even though it's a different role, CM Punk is a babyface and this person was known to be a heel for pretty much his whole career. I think CM Punk, old man CM Punk, is the Ric Flair of this era. Because obviously Ric Flair was a heel, but he was the old man in town. He was the one who looked down on most of the roster when it comes to experience. He's the one who was the senior in the locker room, always knew what to say, always knew what to do. And I think CM Punk's in that role now. He's a lot wiser than his younger self. He's been through it all. I think CM Punk fits that role. I think CM Punk, the counterpart for CM Punk is Ric Flair. And from the Ruthless Aggression era. And last but not least, we got Roman Reigns. And you all know it, the face of the company, John Cena. Now, obviously, we're not talking character-wise. It's not even close. But we're talking spiritually. We're talking face of the company. We're talking the biggest star. We're talking about the guy who the company can rely on. The guy who the company would never really hurt from putting the title on. That is Roman Reigns. Whether you guys like it or not. Roman Reigns is John Cena's counterpart for this era, and John Cena vice versa from the Ruthless Aggression era. Now let us know in the comments if you guys disagree with. I think you're going to disagree with a lot of the things I said. And let me know what you guys think would be the counterparts of the current wrestlers. Like, for example, if you guys don't think Cody Rhodes should be the Triple H, let us know in the comments who you think would be Cody Rhodes from the Ruthless Aggression era.